What up, everybody? I'm your host, JP. This is my co-host, Josh.
Hey, everyone.
And welcome back to another episode of the FilmBros podcast. What's happening, everybody? We are in a good mood today. A little sick, a little under the weather. Not 100%. I know it sounds crazy because like a few episodes I was just sick and I sounded so bad. It sounds like I have a terrible immune system.
Yeah, it's been going around.
Yeah, it's been going around. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I was sick a couple episodes too.
Yeah.
And I sounded like nasally. Even when I went back to like edit, I was like, I sound very bad.
Yeah,
so.
it's not a very good thing. So please bear with me. My immune system's trash, kid. It's trash now. It's been trash ever since the pandemic, I think. Or, maybe I'm just getting old.
I think that was everyone's problem.
Yeah. I'm always just gonna like blame it on the pandemic. I think a good chunk of the things that I want to make excuses for is because of the pandemic. I'd say that.
You're just gonna end up blaming the pandemic.
Yeah.
What if it's unrelated?
Yeah. No, it's related. I'll tell you somehow. They're gonna be like, well, why don't you have a car? Because of the pandemic. The pandemic repoed my ride. With that being said, let's just go ahead and start jumping right into these little little news articles, I would say.
Wait, but before we get into the news, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Today's episode is sponsored by ZippyStream. If you are wondering how we make money to run our podcast, it's all because of this innovative platform. Here at FilmBros Podcast, we absolutely love using ZippyStream. It's the easiest way to convert listeners into an email list, but best of all, they find us sponsorship so we can keep making money doing what we love.
Suppose you're also a podcaster thinking about starting one. ZippyStream will help you find and manage a relationship with brands that are relevant to your audience. If you want to learn more, contact us as soon as possible. Everyone that signs up this month will get to claim £10 as a joining bonus, which is around $12 or something like that.
Just reach out to us by email or social media DMs, and I'll put you in touch with the guys at ZippyStream right away. Now back to the pod. And the first thing that I just want to shine the light on, and I think it's magnificent, and I think it's fucking crazy, and you know what? This is one of the things that can be kind of blamed on COVID if you want to. I don't know. But since the pandemic has happened, we have not gotten... Well, we got our first $1 billion movie with No Way Home, right? Post-pandemic.
Yeah, that would be like...
With animation, though, not hit $1 billion at all. It's almost got there. Rise of Gru got like 999.999, whatever. I don't know. It was like maybe 40,000 short from like $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're hearing that Super Mario Bros. Has officially passed $1 billion at the box office on its 4th week run.
Goddamn.
It's amazing. Illumination Universal, they put this movie out. They shook hands with Nintendo and said, hey, we work together. We did talk about, before potential, like where we want to see. I said personally a Super Smash Bros. Should possibly be planned down the line. I think that would be like the smart thing to do. I know Chris Pratt had said that they were planning to get sequels depending on how the movie did, and $1 billion at the box office. I don't know why we didn't hear anything over CinemaCon. I don't know why they didn't, announce it there. You know how crazy the roof would have gotten blown off if they would have said, hey, all the cast is coming back. Super Mario 2 is happening. I mean, yeah, wait to announce it until you get a script or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like that would have been a little bit something to look forward to. Now, hearing the $1 billion is good for an animated movie, especially post-pandemic, but with nothing to really look forward to, is kind of just like, well, it hit $1 billion, They should have gave us something, knowing that it was going to cross.
Well, I don't know. Maybe time will tell, you know what I mean? Can't really... Most movies don't really... Okay, well, I guess nowadays they sort of greenlight after production or after the film hits theaters, but...
Scream 7 was lit up the week after.
That movie did great, though. And I don't know if people had faith in the Mario movie, because of Chris Pratt and all the drama around his name for some reason.
Yeah,
People were kind of skeptical, but hey, it's at $1 billion, so I'm sure that they'll announce a sequel in the coming like weeks or so.
in a few months, because
I
I wouldn't see them putting this off for a long time.
Yeah,
I wouldn't see them putting off.
They'd want everyone back in the booth immediately.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Hey, Pratt, let's go. Come on, Guardians of the Galaxy's done. Let's go. Get back in there."
Because even then, well, I think the only one that has like voice acting stuff going on right now is probably Jack Black for Kung Fu Panda 4.
Yeah,
and then
he might be busy.
Keegan does a lot of voice acting now too.
Yeah, a lot of smaller roles though. I don't think he's had like a full like lead role in animation at all.
No, but he does do it more often now, and then occasionally he does work with Jordan on things like that one animated movie they made for Netflix. And then I'm sure they'll greenlight something soon.
Yeah,
pretty sure.
But you haven't seen this movie.
No, I did not contribute.
Everybody, tomatoes.
I did not.
Tomatoes at
I
Josh.
did not contribute
Tomatoes.
one bit to this $1 billion success. I don't know why. I just haven't gotten around to it.
So you're not necessarily excited for any kind of Mario thing coming down the pipeline.
Not really, no.
Okay, so if there's a Nintendo property that would or could be made, what would you want to see?
I want to see Smash Brothers, obviously, and then I think a Legend of Zelda would be kind of cool.
Okay, in live action,
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty sick.
Yeah, live action or animation, that would be tight.
Yeah, me personally, I want to see what's his name? The robot suit.
Oh,
with the woman in there.
Oh, Samus.
Samus. I want to see a Samus movie. I think that a movie like that in animated form, hard, bro. That'd go hard. Sonic's already being made in a live action, so that's gonna be kind of difficult to kind of
yeah
put into the mix.
If they did do animated, I'm sure they could change it. You know what I mean? Because even the Transformers movies, I know it's like completely off topic, but they go from live action to animated stuff all the time.
Yeah,
So,
I guess in the Mario movie they kind of put it in a way where it could happen.
Yeah.
Where he could maybe make the jump from live action into animation. You haven't seen the movie yet, so I don't want to spoil it for you. But there's a way that they kind of made it from, because I don't know if it's spoiler. I don't want to give you spoilers, so I'll just let you know that there's a way that they can do it. Hopefully, one day you'll be able to watch this movie and maybe contribute to the success that's happening.
Maybe.
Right now, you're just a bystander.
Well, yeah.
Watching Mario.
Wahoo! Got other things to be watching. That's all.
Like what?
Well, we did watch Star Wars.
I was about to say, we watched Return of the Jedi, but we've seen that before. By the way, guys, phenomenal on the big screen. I just want to share that with you guys.
An experience.
We watched it, and though there was obnoxious people in the theater, there was a few obnoxious people, it was still like, you could feel like that whole room was just oozing with Star Wars nerdiness, and it just felt like a comfortable place.
What had me shook was toward the beginning when they showed Leia in her outfit and that dude started barking. I was like, "What the fuck, bro? Have some composure." That loud ass dude. Remember?
Yeah, he was like,
he was like, I was like, chill.
That, and then I think there was the person that was next to me. I think when they saw Han and Leia kiss or something, she was like, "Get off of him!" I was like, "I don't know if you heard that."
I think I did.
Yeah, she was like, "Get off of him!" I was like,
chill.
Like Han is gonna jump out the screen for you. I was like, yeah, a very, very passionate
vocal fan base.
It's a very passionate fan base, I can tell. So Super Mario Bros. Crossing $1 billion. Hopefully, Josh, you don't watch this movie on your cell phone, because then you'd be criticized by David Lynch himself, who says that you don't watch a movie if you watch it on your cell phone. You don't know what the movie I'll give you the full quote right now. So just to give you some backstory, he is the original creator of the original Dune back in 1984.
Okay.
All right. He's made a few movies: The Elephant Man, The Fablemans, as of recently, Twin Peaks, etc., etc. He's actually a pretty heavy duty director right now.
Okay.
So what he basically says is, he says, "Now it would seem we get a glimpse into the strange things." I guess in a clip he says, "If you're playing the movie on a telephone. You will never in a trillion years experience the film, he says in the clip. You'll think you have experienced it, but you'll be cheated. It's such a sadness that you think you've seen a film on your fucking telephone. Yeah.
We don't call them telephones anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to just show you the clip so you can hear just the anger in his voice.
Okay.
The movie on a telephone, you will never in a trillion years experience the film. You'll think you have experienced it, but you'll be cheated. It's such a sadness that you think you've seen a film on your fucking telephone. Get real.
Get real. iPhone.
iPhone.
Shot with an iPhone.
So, yeah. He says, get real. If you watch a movie on your telephone, you did not in a trillion years watch that movie. Do you agree or you disagree?
Okay, well, I don't really watch movies on my phone. You know what I mean? I feel like he has a point and he doesn't have a point at the same time. You know what I mean? Because people watch movies on their phone. I'm not sure what movies, but I know I don't. I have the streaming services on my phone, but I don't watch movies. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if I'm on my phone and I'm watching something, I'm either on YouTube or I'm watching a show.
Yeah.
And, shows aren't movies.
Yeah.
So, two different things. But, I mean, and then also it depends on, is he talking about like a movie, like a brand new movie from like theaters bootlegged on your phone, or is he talking like
I think he's just talking movies in general.
Oh, well.
If you're sitting down and watching a movie on your phone, you're not experiencing the full thing. And I kind of, we talk about this, a lot of older heads, they like to, their experience is the movie theater experience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And though I do agree with him in a to a certain extent, because I do think when you're watching a movie on your phone, it gets very easily, you can get very easily distracted.
Yeah.
That's why I do the same thing. I YouTube or TV shows on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I watch.
Yeah.
I'm not watching, I have watched movies, and this is where I say to an extent, because there's times where I watch movies, right, and I put in both headphones. Who the fuck watches a movie with the fucking phone speaker?
Yeah.
Who the hell does that?
Yeah.
First of all, you're a menace to society and you shouldn't do that. I'll put both I have a coworker who does that, and I'm just like, dude, I don't want to hear what you're watching. I think he was watching Superbad one day with the speaker loud, and I was just like, what are you doing? Like, he's like, I haven't seen this movie so long ago. I have, and I know exactly that you should not be playing this movie in this setting. Anyways, I think that, if you have your earbuds in and you're watching a movie or whatever, and now I'm not saying to watch a new movie. If you've seen a movie already, or you'll get that emotion. I think one that really did something for me, it was when I was at work. Hopefully they don't hear this and get me fired. No, but I was at work. We didn't really have nothing to do, so I kind of just kicked it in a dark room, put my phone down, put both earbuds in, and I watched. What did I watch? I think I watched an Alien movie or something. Oh no, District 9. I watched it. I put it put it down, and I've seen it before on TV I think on TV. Yeah, I've never seen it on my phone, so I was like, I was just bored. I couldn't figure out anything else to watch, so I'm sitting there and watching it, and I felt everything. And that was because, when you have both earbuds in, there's nothing distracting you. You know what I mean? There's no noises coming in. There's nothing that's like, what was that kind of thing? You know what I mean? It was just, you're there, you're fully immersed, you're watching your phone, and you're good. Whereas, you're at home, somebody, what does that mean? You know what I mean? They ask you about the movie.
Talking to you dog, I'm watching the same movie.
Or you're watching a Return of the Jedi and some dude starts barking at the TV screen. That takes you out of the experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those things ruin the movie for you. You know what I mean? And I always tell you, when I'm watching a movie, I want to be fully immersed in that bitch. I want to be able to believe that it's real. You know what I mean? And the moment somebody starts barking in a movie theater, or if I'm watching it on the phone and I don't feel like it's a space where I can just sit there and just be just allow myself to let go into this film,
Mm-hmm.
that I feel like it's not doing it justice. And there's no in my opinion, there's no reason to watch a movie on your phone. If you have time for a movie on your phone, you have time to watch a movie on your damn TV. I get the certain cases where, truck drivers and stuff, I'm sure they watch it on their phones or something, but nah, yeah, if in all reality, TV or movie theater, you should be watching movies there. TV shows, te la paso, animated shows, and maybe an animated movie. I give you an animated movie. If you're going to watch it, Super Mario Bros. On your phone or something, say because you haven't watched it, I would probably be okay with that. I'd probably be like, yeah, all right.
I don't know. I feel like just movies in general. Because, I mean, yeah, you can pop your headphones in and it's an experience, Because, you could be, like, on a road trip or whatever. You got
Especially with noise cancelling nowadays.
Yeah.
It makes it a whole lot better.
Like, even then, and then, like, you know how music does where it would end up in one side of the ear and then go to the other? Like, you can get some of that with some movies.
Yeah.
Like, I think with Baby Driver, if you listen to it and you got headphones in, it's like you can hear the music he's listening to through one and then the other with like the actual action and stuff. So like it works out, but at the same time, like I don't watch movies on my phone like that.
Yeah, watching a movie on your phone is
it's awkward.
It is awkward. That's the word I was gonna use, like awkward. Like it doesn't to me there's no point. There's no point. In my opinion, if you have time to watch it on your phone, just put that bitch on TV. And even then, they make it a lot easier. If you got Wi-Fi, you just click a little corner thing right there, and it just pops up on your TV.
Chromecast,
yeah, the little casting thing. You just push that, pop it on the TV, and just watch TV. But then you got to fight with the whole. And this is where I think it kind of helps to watch it on your phone too, because there's no distractions. You know what I told you before. You have box office, right? You know when you're in the movie theater, you're not supposed to pull out your phone.
Yeah.
Right? You're just sitting there, you're watching the thing. So even though you feel the need to want to check the time or something, like that's your environment basically keeping you focused on what you're watching. And so you're not distracted and you don't feel that need to pull out your phone.
Basically.
When you're at home, you're always, on your phone or something. So when you're watching a movie, it's really hard to resist that urge to pull out your phone. When a movie, there's been times where I've seen a movie and I did not feel that need to want to pull out my phone at all, and that's when I'm like, that's a fucking movie.
Yeah.
That's a fucking movie. You fucking made me completely like just watch this whole thing without even wanting to pull out my phone.
Yeah.
Especially in my home.
Basically.
Yeah, masterclass. So I think that like when you're watching it on your phone, it kind of helps with that, where like you don't have to pull out your phone and it, your attention is not turned away from your phone because it's on the phone already. You know what I mean? When you're watching a movie.
Well, maybe, but then again, like let's say you're watching it because every phone now you can kind of like you're watching something and then not just a movie, but you're watching like Netflix or whatever. You can quite literally put it in a box on the side of your phone, depending on how big your phone is, and then like go through other apps.
At that point, you're not even trying to watch it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like you can become easily distracted.
No. But yes. But at that point, don't even put on a movie. At that point, if you're gonna just put it in the little box in the corner, don't even put it on. So me, I do that where I'm on YouTube or something.
I do it with YouTube videos. Yeah.
Yeah, I do it with YouTube videos because I'm just listening. You know what I mean? I don't care what I'm seeing unless something crazy happens and I'm like, okay, I gotta rewind it. Gotta actually put it full screen. But like, that's a different story. But like, if you're watching a movie and you still feel the need or the urge to want to like slide it into a little box and play something or do something on your phone, it's like, don't even watch the movie. Just call it a day. Just be like, hey, I don't feel like a movie today.
Yeah. But no,
I think he has a point though. He has a smidgen of and that's where like I think all these older heads, I say them older heads, not in a disrespectful way, but they are the OGs.
That's what they are.
They're the ones that paved the way. They're the ones who've been around for so long. I mean, he made the first Dune. I think at one point he even said too, and this is probably gonna make you mad because you don't like people like that, but like he was even like, I'm not watching the new Dune movie. Like I'm not gonna watch that shit.
I think I do.
Yeah,
I remember reading.
Yeah, he said like I'm not putting myself through that. So and I don't remember the reason why, but I'm pretty sure it was
because
they remade his movie. So I could kind of see where he's coming from. But I can't give it to him 100%. But at the same time, maybe you probably don't watch movies on your phone, but there's times where you need to, where you're on the road or something.
Those gray area circumstances where you're like, all right, I'll pop one in just because it'll.
But not a new movie. If you know that you've seen it before, put that one on.
No, well, yeah, that's what I like. If I decided, hey, while we're going out of town or whatever, let me watch a movie to kill the time, I'd probably put on like a Marvel movie, just to kill the time.
Man of Steel.
Nah, that one needs to be appreciated on TV. No,
No?
not on my phone.
BBS?
Not on my phone.
Zack Snyder Justice League?
Not on my phone.
Oh, damn.
Marvel movie is fine.
Wonder Woman 84?
Nah, never.
It's on my downloads.
Never. But no, it would definitely be like a Marvel movie, or yeah, something I've seen before where I'm just like, all right, I know what happens. It'll pass the time, and then by the time we get
Black
there,
Adam.
I'd watch Black Adam on my phone.
On your phone? Okay, cool.
Black Adam, Morbius.
We can agree on that.
I'd
one.
watch those on my phone.
Very good.
They're not cinematic masterpieces.
but they're passable. They're passable.
Yeah,
like these gold stones. No, just kidding. All right.
Spit on the fucking drink.
Moving on though, we got a new leak, a new, freshly opened leak from Marvel Studios coming in from Patti LuPone. So I know everybody probably heard about this. Okay, everybody covered it already. I was just trying to see if she was going to slip up some more, which she did. Multiple interviews. So now she's no longer Patti LuPone. She's in the boat with Mark Ruffalo and Tom Holland. Maybe a little bit more than them, because I'm just going to read the quotes. I mean, if you guys want to see her full interview.
Spoiling movies?
She was spoiling Agatha Coven of Chaos.
Oh, shit.
It was an accident. She was in an interview. She was in an interview for the new movie coming out right now with her. Bao is Afraid. Bo is Afraid. She's coming out in a lot more movies and TV shows before, but she was recently doing a interview with the Hollywood Reporter for that movie, and this is where, like, you know, because same thing with what happened with what's his name, Dr. Octopus, where he kind of just let it slip too. A lot of the older cast, they're not really like in that, you know, hushity hush type shit. You know what I mean? When movies were coming out back in the day with them, they were just like, yeah, I'm playing this character. Yeah, this is what I'm gonna be doing. You know, and hopefully you guys appreciate it. Nowadays, you even give somebody a little bit of tidbit like that, they already figured out the whole movie. Basically. They're like, hey, you gave away too much. You know what I mean? So she really spilled the tea on this one, where she not only talks about her character, her powers, and her involvement in the show, but she also talks about Aubrey Plaza's role. She also talks about Joe Locke's role.
Damn.
And also goes as far as calling Coven of Chaos a musical.
Damn.
So
Marvel is not working with her again.
Kevin Feige, like, you shut up. So she basically says, let me see. Let me find the whole quote. She says that the Coven, that Catherine Kahn will be leading, right? And Plaza, which is Aubrey Plaza, and Locke are members. So Catherine Hahn, Aubrey Plaza, LuPone, and Locke, Joe Locke, which a lot of people are saying that it's gonna be Wanda's son grown up.
It's gonna be Wiccan.
Wiccan is all part of the Coven, right?
Okay.
They also say that there will be bursting into song every now and again in the upcoming Marvel project, making it essentially the first Marvel musical.
I swear to fucking God.
She says, our lead singer is Catherine. I'm singing backup, and the songs have been written by Kristen and Bobby Lopez. Those two have worked on Frozen and Coco. So they wrote the song Agatha all along. So she also says, I said, listen, I don't harmonize. I've always been a soprano. I've always been on top of the line, but it's been great fun. She says she was singing backup for the Coven of Chaos. She says there's no CGI either. What I'm seeing on the show is craft. She also says, yeah, no, that's basically it. That's basically all the stuff that she gave away from the show. So we're hearing that Joe Locke, Wiccan, Aubrey Plaza's character, Catherine Hahn, Agatha, and Patti LuPone will be in the Coven. Not only in the Coven, but also singing their asses off. So you'll probably be excited about this. I know you like musicals. Me, not really. Wasn't even asking for the show.
I wasn't asking for the show either.
I really don't fucking want it now. At first, I was like, you know what? I'll give it a
I
chance.
didn't even know Audrey Plaza could sing.
Oh, she could sing. I'm just more like, I wonder how her dynamic's gonna be with everybody else, especially with. I want to see Audrey Plaza. I'm hoping that we get a lot of Elizabeth Olsen in this one, and I want to see them two going at it. I think it'd be like a good dynamic.
I don't even know if she's showing up.
I'm sure she'll show up. That's probably, they're gonna pull a Book of Boba Fett and put her in 2 episodes on how she came back from that whole crumble and multiverse of madness.
Oh,
and
the big ass shrine or whatever the fuck it was.
Where everybody was like, she's dead, and then you had that little pop of red, and everybody's like, well, she's not dead. So, I'm pretty sure she's not dead.
No.
No, but what do you think about Patti LuPone not only spoiling, but giving out a good chunk of...
I think she's on a watch list. I think now the MCU was like, damn, how do we fix this? Is she important? Can we axe her character, make her to shut the fuck up? If not, then they're gonna have to keep her under lock and key because Tom Holland's been a repeat offender. Same with Mark Ruffalo.
Everybody gasses Tom Holland about it now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mark Ruffalo's gotten a lot better about it.
After he was like, what interview was it where he was just like, oh, we're all dead in this one or whatever, and then Mackey's like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
why would you say that? I don't know. It seems like we got another person on Fahi's watch list. He's
just like, say another word.
He doesn't want her to say.
He's
another
like,
word.
talk about cake. No.
He's like, please stop, please, please, please. So all this basically came out during what was happening with Majors too. So it kind of helped, aim the camera a little bit away from that. But
yeah.
Patti LuPone, like I said, a lot of these older heads are just gonna say what they want. They're gonna do whatever they want. I mean,
yeah.
What are they gonna do? Not hire them? Like, that's fine.
Man,
I mean,
you already paid.
Marvel's gonna run out of actors eventually.
Yeah.
That's why they're dipping into the older pool too now. So,
Yep.
I mean, it is what it is. We'll have to wait and see what happens with Agatha Coven of Chaos. I don't know. With this kind of news, are you guys even excited for this show? Are you excited? Oh, you said you weren't excited for the show, but
No.
I'm not excited for the show. I was never excited for the show. I don't even understand why they announced the show. It was never even in the slate until after WandaVision, and then all of a sudden Fahi was like, people need more Agatha Harkness. No, we don't. I don't think we did.
Spider-Man 4? Nah. Agatha? Like, it's ridiculous.
I think we're onto something with this one. But yeah, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see what happens with Agatha. Like I said, we probably, I don't know how much coverage we might be doing for that one. I don't know. That one's gonna be a bear to get through.
That's what's up. Most likely, yeah. I don't know. If you guys want us to cover it, let us know, and then he'll be obligated to cover it. So.
Oh God! If you guys want to torture me, obligate me to watch it. Moving on, though. We also heard, now I know we were talking about a couple episodes ago that Asher Angel was being looked at to be the new hiccup of the live action How to Train Your Dragon series. But now we're also hearing that it may not be him, that Jack Dylan Grazer might be the one being eyed for this role. I don't know if Asher turned it down. I don't know. Maybe they're both going to be in it. Maybe at one point they were both running for the same position. I'm not sure. I know that we covered Asher Angel potentially being in talks for it, but now we're hearing that Jack Dylan Grazer is too as well. So I mean, Grazer. So I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I think it should go to Angel. I don't really like, I don't really like the dude that plays
Freddy.
So,
but he was actually a standout in Shazam too. I wouldn't mind seeing him as a lead.
I don't know.
Guy.
I think it'd kind of annoy me to hear him in anything else. Maybe it's just because the way he's written, and I'm being too harsh because he was a fast-paced character who talked quickly or nerdy or whatever. But I think Angel should take it. He looked the part more to me for some reason.
Asher, yeah, I think Asher does look the part more. I wouldn't say Jack for that role. I think I started watching the first one, and I think there's a spot that he could probably play. I just don't remember the names, and I can't think of it off top.
Yeah, no. Damn. Good luck to them. Both of them running, they're probably just like, Ooh, you trying to take my spot there?
Well,
Shazam Jr.?
I mean, if you notice, they both have like they're really good friends off set. Like they got like this bromance going on, and they're really good. So I don't know if maybe they were both in the running. Like I said, it sounds to me, because having conflicting reports from different places, it sounds to me that they were probably both being interviewed, and they were both probably taking a shot at it. And I don't know. I would prefer Asher, and maybe put Jack in a different position, but it just depends.
Yeah.
Depends, because I wouldn't mind seeing Jack as the head role guy either, because like I said, I liked him in Shazam 2. I don't think that he did a bad job in Shazam 1. I could probably give it to you and been like, I don't see him as lead role material, but I think he really came on like as his own in Shazam 2.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just don't think it'll work for Hiccup. But again, good luck to them, and whoever they cast, shit, good luck. Because my God,
it's gonna be some big shoes to fill.
Yep, you're gonna need it. I heard these movies are very protected in their community, so
Very protected. Not a casual fan base, I'm guessing. I mean, it's an animated movie. I mean, how much of a niche following could it have?
Nah, man, I hear it's big. I hear it's as big as, like, not as big as Shrek, but bigger than Kung Fu Panda type shit.
Bigger than Kung Fu Panda?
Yeah, I hear it's a big fan base.
I mean, I went out of my way to watch Kung Fu Panda. I didn't go out of my way to watch this one.
It's because this one sucks. And I was like, but yeah, no. Good luck to them for real. Cause I mean, shit. I still think Asher could take it.
I mean, I hope so. I mean, he could probably, like I said, be in the running for it. It's just depending on the producer's day, depending on that day, like who's gonna pick up who. But I would say Asher has to take it.
Yeah.
I just think that he probably looks the role a little bit more. Like, I mean, acting chops wise, he did prove it as well. I think he gave one of the most heartfelt, conversations in Shazam 2. Freddie did a good job. I'm not saying that he didn't, but if Zachary Levi would have finished what Asher Angel was starting when he was giving that emotional scene towards the end, I feel like it would have been received a lot more, and it would have looked at a lot better. In a way, alienating Zachary Levi, kind of putting that division kind of showed me what kind of chops Asher Angel has. For the movie itself, it didn't make sense, but at least for his acting chops, it shows that Asher Angel could do this.
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying. Just gonna have to wait and see. I think all I really care about, though, at this point, is what the dragons are gonna look like. Like, I hope they look cool. I hope they look as good as I see them do in the animated one. You know what I mean? I hope they stick to the accuracy and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I seen it, but I need to like really pay attention. You haven't even seen it.
Well, no, I've seen them in like.
So what do you mean about accuracy if you don't even know what accuracy it has?
I know what they look like from like trailers and stuff.
No.
I just want them to look like that.
That doesn't count. You gotta watch the movie.
I'll watch them eventually, but I just prefer them.
So he has no opinion.
I don't.
That's right.
Not
That's
on
right.
The movies.
That's right.
I just know that.
That's right.
I just know that
That's
they
right.
gotta look good. The dragons have to look good.
That's right. That's right. Moving on though, to your favorite director, James Gunn.
Your favorite director.
Your favorite director, James Gunn.
Favorite director?
Your new head of DC Studios, James Gunn. We got
this gang.
We got word that they had the premiere over the weekend, actually on Thursday. Wound up showing to critics, fans, early screenings, influencers, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And to be honest, though, I've been hearing a couple downers. I've been hearing mostly uppers from this movie, with a lot of people saying the MCU has got its mojo back. Now, right now, 79% on the tomato meter, all right, on Rotten Tomatoes. We got a few. I'm going to go ahead and read some good and bad reviews, okay? Let's start with a bad one, since that's the one at the very top. So this critic says, I regret to inform you that the Guardians of the Galaxy as you know them are dead. What remains in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 are flickering remnants of the fun times, but mostly modern bullshit. This critic says the fitting finale for Marvel's most affable heroes. This other critic also says Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is overstuffed and a tad too long, but it's also a humorous, heartfelt farewell by Gunn to his band of misfits. Another bad one right here says the misfit team's constant punchlines and I'm just busting your chops dynamic have grown exhausting. They've become the guy at the party who thinks he's hilarious but is actually just too drunk. Another critic says Marvel fans can relax because I enjoyed this latest entry and consider it a big step up from Volume 2. Another bad one, a combination of those exploitative ads from animal shelters and the Japanese body horror endurance test Tetsuo the Iron Man. I don't know what that means, but he gave it a rotten score. A 1.5 out of 4 he gave it. He gave this movie a 1.5 out of 4. I don't even know if he's just being salty at that point. I don't know if he's just being salty. Another good one from this critic says Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 delivers the best action in the trilogy to date while also providing its most heartbreaking plot yet. So on, so forth, so on, so forth. So, like I said, if you notice, Josh, you can see a lot more tomatoes and rotten. Or, I don't know, does it look kind of even? Let me see how many rotten. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 rotten and 5 rotten. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 good ones. So, I mean, not really a 50-50. Maybe like 60-40. 60 good, 40 bad. Sure, still down the middle. I mean, you're hearing these reviews. What are you thinking?
I think. I don't know. I don't know what I think. That's the best way to put it. I don't know if I'm gonna like this movie or not. I hear more negative stuff from my side of Twitter, but maybe that's just the algorithm working against James Gunn.
ratioed.
But I hear that people are having a problem that it's dark or whatever, and I'm like, well, dark movies kind of intimidate people. So, I guess we'll see. Interesting that it is torn as usual, but to say that the MCU is back after one movie, I don't know. I think a pocket of success. I don't know if it's gonna be their golden goose or whatever the fuck it's called. The one-way ticket out of
Wasn't
there.
it you a couple weeks ago that said that Marvel's relying on this movie?
Relying on this one and the Marvels.
So, I mean, hearing good things about it, well, I mean...
Hearing mixed things about it.
Oh, yeah, mixed, but...
Good and bad. Not just... And this isn't even me like shitting on James Gunn. Like, this is like for real shit. I'm just using the facts. And if people are torn on this movie... Because people apparently love the second one. I don't know how they love the second one, but they did.
I prefer the first.
What do you call it? I don't give a damn. Well, but people are torn on this one, so that's not really a good sign. It always seems like the end of the trilogy is always getting the stick. You know what I mean? Like it's always like the quote unquote worst part. You know what I mean? Considered the worst of any trilogy.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
No. Civil War.
People had a problem with that one.
Infinity War.
Does that count?
That's the
that
third.
count?
That'd be the third Avengers movie.
Okay, people like Infinity War. I'll give you that one.
Okay. Ragnarok. Everybody loved Ragnarok except for you.
Everybody liked that one, but I mean that's not where it ended. So it's not a trilogy. It's not a trilogy.
We're talking about the third one though. We're just talking about a third one though.
It's not a trilogy. It's not a trilogy. It doesn't count.
It's a quadruple trilogy now, but it's just a.
It doesn't count.
I'm talking about the third movie though. Iron Man 3 was. I mean,
That
I
one
personally
got max reviews.
I personally liked it, but people didn't really like it. So.
I thought it was alright. I like the second one better.
Then the third.
Yeah.
I really like the end scene of the third one. But either which way, I mean, a lot of people are, a lot of people have that little joke, in Iron Man 3, he lost all his suits, in in Civil War, he lost his shield, you know what I mean? In Ragnarok, he lost, the hammer.
Lost Mjolnir and an eye.
Yeah. So Quantumanium, everybody was like, well, what is Scott going to lose? I don't even think he lost anything. And then in this one, people are like, well, who are we going to lose? Now, we already heard that Dave Bautista is not going to be here, right? Yeah, I mean, he basically confirmed that, you know, a long time ago.
He's probably
like,
dead. He's probably dying.
yeah,
Drax is dying.
he's probably not gonna make it. But another person that we might not see again is also Zoe Saldana, saying that, you know, her time is up in this role, and no, she doesn't want to kill the character, but she would want to see another actress play.
That's fair.
So let me read you her full quote. So she says, I think it's time for me to step down and for the next generation to come forward. The one thing I would not want is for Gamora to go away. She's been such an impactful character for fans, and especially female fans and young female fans. I would love for Marvel to figure out a way to find that next generation of actors that can incarnate these characters and give them the immortality that fans generally keep coming back to. But me per se, I mean, I signed up for 1 and got 10 years. Lucky me, I have no complaints, and I'm moving on with so much grace and gratitude in my heart. So, I mean, it's fair. I think it's fair. And that was my big thing. I don't think that they should do away with the characters, and especially in this vast multiverse or whatever, they should just be recasting. Iron Man, when he died, necessarily he shouldn't have died. I think if they were going into the multiverse, what they could have done is written Robert Downey Jr. out and swapped him with somebody else. Basically had a new Iron Man, had this maybe different memories, maybe different ways things went on in his universe or something. And then eventually when we get to this big climactic, you know, I don't know if Jonathan Majors is going to make it to that climactic end, but when Kang is there or whatever, you know, somehow, some way they pull Robert Downey Jr. back, and they didn't basically write themselves in the corner and be like, hey, you know, will it be too much if we bring a dead guy back? You know what I mean? Like, they should have done that. I feel like they could have recasted, especially if they were going down the route of the multiverse. If they were going down the multiverse route, they could have recasted and just called it a day. And I think this would be a good way to give, you know, more people the same characters, because people love Captain America, people love Iron Man, people love now the Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, Dave Bautista is not going to be Drax anymore, but why can't we have Drax at all anymore? You know, why can't somebody else play him?
Yes and no. You know what I mean? I mean, to be fair, I thought she was dead, or I thought she was dusted with the rest of Thanos' army in Endgame.
Gamora?
Yeah.
No, she came back from the past.
Well, that's what I'm saying. My whole thing was that she was part of that army up until, you know, well, basically the end when they vanished. So I thought she would have been swept away with them. That was my thing.
No, she renounced her alliance with them. That's why she was fighting alongside them.
In that movie? The same movie?
In Endgame.
I don't think I remember it too well. But either way, you know, it's very weird to make that assumption, you know what I mean? But I thought she was gone. And then I thought she was gone in Infinity War. So if she decides to have someone else play her, cool. Or if they decide, I'm not sure. I doubt it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's kind of like Marvel's thing. They'll be like, hey, you don't want to play no more? We'll write you out. You know what I mean? Just because, you know.
They do that
it's easier
for
that
no
way.
Confusion.
Yeah, it's easier that way than to explain that, oh, you know, it's still Gamora. It's just not played by, you know, so-and-so. And then, you know, you get film theories who are like, oh, why does she look different? This and that. Like, dog, there's no in-universe explanation. To us, this has always been, you know, like Mark Ruffalo with...
Well, they can easily do what they did with Cheeto.
Well, no, but
well, I'm here.
Well, like, what Mark Ruffalo...
Get over it.
Well, yeah, Cheeto and then, what's his name, War Machine, and then, you know, Ruffalo and, what's his name? Norton. So, I mean, that they could easily just be like, hey, she's played by her now and whatnot and move forward. But I think after...
Now they're doing it with Harrison Ford?
Well, yeah. You know, and after her being already, like, being in the role for so long, people would feel out of place seeing someone else.
See, but that's the thing. They've done it already. Like, now they haven't made it a habit, but they've done it. And if they've done it before, they could just do it again.
But yeah, but doing one movie and then switching the actor versus doing, like, 3 movies... 4 ensemble or 2 ensemble movies is that's different. You know what I mean? Like you've cemented yourself as that character. You know, it's a little different.
Yeah, I could see your POV, but that's what I'm saying though. Like if they would have used the multiverse as an excuse, there's no explanation needed. it would have just explained itself. There's a multiverse. Obviously, we're gonna see a lot of, obviously, No Way Home would have hammered the idea into everybody's brain, right? Multiverse of Madness would have helped out as well. But like, I think that if they were going down the multiverse route, they could have easily just swapped.
Maybe they're just waiting for that. Because I mean, James did say that this is the end of his iteration of the Guardians. So maybe
that's true.
Maybe that team or whatever. So somewhere down the line, a new team will form and whatnot.
That's the last iteration of the Guardians, but they will be moving on to DC.
My God, that makes me so angry. But
I don't know if you've seen on the red carpet, they were the girl that plays Mantis said that she was already in talks with him.
I think I did hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, that she was in talks with him. Bautista said the other time that he was in talks with him, but apparently he's too old to play the Bane that he's looking for.
He doesn't want to. No.
So that's another thing. He did make a joke about Chris Pratt too, saying that if he was a few years younger, he might have been Superman.
That's gross.
Right? That's what I was thinking too.
That's disgusting.
And then in the same carpet, he talked about, Ezra coming back and stuff like that. And, we talked about it a little bit. He looked scared in the video, though. I don't know if you've seen the video about it.
Yeah.
He looked like, what do I say?
Yeah.
So Zoe Saldana potentially might be back. I mean, she's in multiple blockbusters, bro. Like, she
used to get to filming Avatar 5.
Yeah, like, she's already on Avatar, bro. Like, she has so much to do. And I'm sure Marvel's a great place to be, but putting on a mocap suit versus green all the time, I'm sure there's a difference.
She has to call it quits somewhere. You know what I mean? And I mean, if her time in this role has passed, it's easier for her to just be.
How long was Robert Downey Jr. in there? 10 years?
10 years and like some change.
10 years. He did 3 movies: Avengers 1 and 2, Infinity War, Endgame. That's it.
He was in Homecoming. Civil War. That's it, right? I want to say that's it.
So 10 years or 12, give or take. I'd say 12 just in case. He made 9 movies. She was in Infinity War, Endgame, Guardians 1, 2, 3 now. 5 years, 10 movies. 10 years, 5 movies. But she has a lot more juice in the tank. I think she can go a little bit more. Obviously it's hard to make them look young. Obviously you could tell the difference her now versus the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. But like, they should be able to at least squeeze a couple more movies out of her.
Yeah, but if she doesn't want to do it anymore,
you're gonna do it, Zoe.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige in the booth with us. But you can't really call that sort of thing. Maybe we don't really have her side of the story of the whole gun thing. So maybe she's just on the side of what's his name, Bautista, where she's just like, all right, I'm tired of this. It took forever to get this bitch off the ground. Like, I'm ready to leave. Same
especially because like what happened with James Gunn too. Everybody banded with him. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, a good theory could mean like they might not even want to deal with these people anymore.
Basically, yeah. And then if he takes his merry band of people back to DC, he's giving his friends jobs.
I'm gonna hate that.
He's giving his friends jobs.
I'm gonna hate that.
It is what it is.
One scene in particular about this movie, and I kind of wanted to bring it up because I was listening to, shout out Grace Randolph. I listened to her too, and she was giving her review about this movie, and she said that we're gonna see a good scene of just him and his friends in this movie. I think Harcourt's gonna be in this one, at least in a scene or so.
In Guardians.
That we see a couple of, obviously Sean Gunn's gonna be in there, but we see a couple of, another couple. Like, there's this whole scene where like just a bunch of his friends come on, and so that's one thing that worries me about this film. I'm just like, are you like, is this what you're gonna do at DC too? Like, are we gonna just see like complete? Like, are you just gonna bring people that Like, don't get me wrong, Adam Sandler does it right. A lot of people do it, but not a lot of directors go and rehire their same people in the same movies. Some people might double back once in a while, like Martin Scorsese, stuff like that. But like, they're never gonna just be like, I'm gonna put you in this movie because I like you.
Adam Sandler and his friends are comedians, though. They kind of all came up together. You know what I mean? And like,
And that was their thing. Honestly, that was their. I think they were the ones that kind of put it on the map first. Like,
Yeah.
hey, like, you know, we're all friends here. Where, you know, David Spade's my homie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a role if I can give him a role.
yeah,
You
and
know,
it works.
Yeah.
In like Grown Ups and stuff. And then even then, there's movies where they're just cameos, which
Yeah.
is fine. You're like, hey, I know who that is or whatever. And then
Mhm.
you're like, okay, back to the movie. This isn't that. This isn't that case. This is him giving his friends jobs.
And this is why I say Adam Sandler's case is different, because Adam Sandler has his own production company. Most of his movies are made by his production company. So any movie that you see coming from Adam Sandler, 9 times out of 10, there's maybe one movie that he probably got hired on or whatever, and then you don't see his friends on those ones. Like, I think Uncut Gems, that his friends aren't in there.
No.
And that's because that wasn't his movie. His team helped pump it up, but they were like, no, this is a serious movie. Like, this is our movie, so you can't bring them in there. And that was his role. But like other movies, like, you know, Grown Ups and everything, that's from his production company. He's the one who, you know, basically gets the script together, does all that stuff.
Exactly.
That's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
James Gunn is not the head of Marvel, first of all. And Marvel's supposed to just be superheroes and stuff like that. So why are we seeing your friends in this movie?
Yeah.
Same thing with DC, superheroes and stuff like that. Like, that's a
Exactly.
different property.
Mhm.
If James Gunn goes and makes, I don't know, James Gunn's production company and decides to make goofy ass movies like Adam Sandler does and puts his friends in there, perfectly fine, in tune. But if I'm gonna see hardcore in DC and then also see him in a Marvel movie, fuck out of my face.
Yeah. I mean, dog.
My shivers timbered.
My boots quaking. But you know, it's completely different because you give your wife a job, you give your brother a job, you give your friends all
His
types
brother
of
has
jobs.
3 jobs in this movie, and over there in DC, his brother has 2 jobs now.
He's still doing mocap for Rocket.
He's doing mocap for Rocket. He's playing that Ravager person
Yeah,
that took
yeah.
Homeboy, what's his name's spot basically,
Yeah.
and doing another mocap in the movie. I think he's also doing Baby Rocket. He's doing Big Rocket and Baby Rocket.
What the fuck?
So he's doing mocap for multiple things, and it's like, that's fine. We don't really see him, so I guess that's passable. And maybe his voice as Baby, because I think he's also voicing Baby Rocket too. It's not gonna be Bradley Cooper voicing Baby Rocket. It's gonna be Sean Gunn. So it's like, he's giving them all these roles, right? He's giving all these jobs, and like I said, you're my brother. I'd give you a job if I could, but I'd tell you, like, hey, I can't bring you everywhere I go.
Exactly.
Like, there's gonna be times where, you know, I gotta make a movie without you,
Yeah.
and there'd be times where, you know, like in the Suicide Squad, him playing Weasel and then him showing up for like a brief second as Calendar Man. Me personally, I wouldn't have done Calendar Man because I'm just like, what if I want to use him in a bigger capacity later on type shit. But like a little cameo like that where he kind of just says something and then goes away kind of thing, that's something different. But giving him whole roles and
That's
whole
like
things.
that's like Sam Raimi and his brother, his cousin, some shit
His
like that.
brother,
where-
yeah. Ted Raimi.
Like, yeah, where he's just like, he shows up in the Spider-Man movies, like he's an established character, but he's still only cameos, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
He'll show up in a scene and then the movie goes on. He doesn't. He's not in there talking to Jameson all the fucking time.
Yeah.
You know?
He doesn't have a major plot.
Yeah. He shows up, he does something funny, and then you're like, okay, now we get to roll on with Spider-Man and stuff. But
Yeah.
this isn't that. This is him giving him multiple jobs, his wife multiple jobs, because he's in the chair and he can do that.
I'll show you the video later of what she says about it, but I'm just gonna verbatim say what she said. But like, she said when his friends come on, when this certain scene happens and his friends come on, it's kind of like a record scratch. Like you're
It takes
out of,
you out of it.
yeah, like you're out of the movie and just in like a party with all of James Gunn's friends.
Oh my!
That
Are we seeing this? Are we seeing that in theaters?
this one, yeah, we're gonna have to.
Motherfucker. Okay.
That the Marvel movies are.
I'm gonna
like,
try not to be harsh about it, but
yeah, Marvel movies are a must. We're gonna have to do that. So, content guys.
I'm gonna try. I'll tell you guys now. I'll try not to be harsh, but
You're gonna be harsh.
I already don't like the Guardians movies, and I mean, if this is a James Gunn fest, I'm bringing my full on hate for it.
He's gonna watch Zack Snyder's Justice League on his phone just to
I'm gonna be
cleanse
I'm gonna bring
cleanse
notes.
his brain.
I'm gonna bring notes. I'm gonna be like, I don't like he did this. He did that, and then by the time the podcast rolls out, I'm gonna be like, listen, let me run down my list of shit real quick.
Well, some people are saying that this movie can make him a real contender to do Superman.
I don't know about all that. I keep hearing mixed things about it. I keep hearing that it's too dark, and I'm like, well, if it's dark and you're like, and he can show me that he can do serious moments without a stupid fucking joke or whatever. Because I saw that clip. I saw the clip of Peter Quill dropping the F-bomb. Did you see that?
I did not.
Really?
I heard about it, and I heard that apparently, because even on the red carpet, James Gunn was like, I guess somebody asked him about him dropping the first F-bomb in the MCU, and that Kevin Feige tried to tell him no, like, you don't want to be known as the first guy to drop the F-bomb in the MCU, and James Gunn was like, yes, I fucking do.
Way to fight for what you believe in, I guess. But, you know, that was my thing, because I seen that clip, and I'll show it to you after, and the whole context is they're on Earth, and what's her name, the blue chick?
Hold on. Spoiler, guys. I mean, if you guys haven't seen the clip and you guys are actively avoiding the clip, he's going to talk about it.
Oh,
so
okay,
yeah. Just to give him a heads
you
up.
Give a fuck then?
No, I don't care.
Okay, well, the context is that Peter Quill's in a car, and what's her name's trying to open the passenger side door.
Mm-hmm.
She's having trouble doing it, and he's just like, well, hold on, you're not pressing the button, because I guess it's like one of those old cars where you have to push the button and then pull. He's like, well, you're not doing it, and then she does it, and then she's like, this is very confusing, and then he's like, get the fuck in the car. He tells her.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, that's tough. Like, not even, like, I didn't even find that funny. I found that kind of annoying, and I was like,
how dare you speak to her like that?
Not even like that. It's more.
What was it,
like,
Mantis?
No, the blue chick, the one that was stuck
Nebula.
with Tony. Yeah, the one that her. Yeah, he tells her that, and I'm like, well, if this is how his time on Earth is gonna go, this is gonna be annoying. You know what I mean? Because I mean, up until leaving with the Ravagers and then meeting up with them in Endgame,
Mm-hmm.
that's like his first real time on Earth without going to war for something. He should be a little bit more sympathetic or whatever.
Yeah.
He should be feeling something a lot more than like, oh, this is just another walk in the park. Like, no, you've been actively avoiding Earth for how long?
Well, maybe that's they show you that a little bit later. Who knows? Or maybe sooner when he lands there.
But I'm telling you now, I have no faith in that whatsoever. It feels like this movie's gonna be heavily on Rocket.
Maybe. Who knows? I mean, like I said, I'm only getting this from like the reviews outside. A lot of people are saying that the trailers were misleading, and it's not gonna be a Rocket heavy focused movie.
Oh, okay.
But that a lot of the emotional moments come from there, or like between, I think they said between Mantis, Nebula, Rocket. I think Dave Bautista gives a good performance too. So I'm hearing that the ensemble altogether is putting up a good performance and everybody holds it together. I'm just hearing that the story is just a little too manufactured. Like, as in, like, he's doing the best he can to pull on your heartstrings, but at the same time, you have that bland story.
There's no substance.
Yeah. I'm hearing the villain's really good, though. The dude that plays in Peacemaker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm hearing that he's...
I saw someone go, this guy should be good for DC. And I'm like, wait a minute. He was in DC.
Yeah.
He was in the fucking Alien, wasn't he? He was like...
Yeah, he was the alien in Peacemaker.
He was like one of the aliens. And I'm like, well... Can't wait to see him in another role.
Yeah,
so
I'm pretty sure he'll
recycle him somewhere.
Yeah, some way, somehow.
Moving on before I get him.
He did pull him over to Marvel though, and see, is that a different case though? Is that because they're not friends? They're just
job's
working
a
together.
job.
Yeah, so that's different.
That is
but
different.
It's just if like Sean Gunn was like to keep doing it, or like
if you're
seeing
related,
hardcore.
Yeah, if you're related to them and you're handing them jobs right.
Because if we want to keep it a buck. Homeboy is kind of on the same spot as Hardcore. I don't know if he has any more roles besides what he did for Guardians of the Galaxy and Peacemaker, but in a way,
well,
am I wrong?
I thought it was established. I could have sworn everyone said he's been around, and that's why they were hyped to see him in the first place. I can't remember his name.
He's been in different shows already, or
that's what I'm assuming.
Let me see. Oh, he has a crazy name. I'm gonna butcher it so hard. I'm sorry. Chuck Woody Iwuji. Let me see what movies he's done. He's done The Girl That Got Away. Haven't seen that one. Shine Your Eyes. Haven't seen that one. Exam. Haven't seen that one. The Split. I haven't seen that one. Daniel Isn't Real. I have not seen that one. King Lear. John Wick 2. He was in John Wick 2.
I don't remember John Wick 2 enough to
Me neither.
remember him either. So
Yeah. Did you hear any of the ones that I told you?
no, hell no. Those all sounded foreign to me.
Yeah. So apparently he has
Acting
credits.
chops.
He has credits. I mean, Harcourt's whatever. James Gunn's wife is like completely blank. So I guess maybe it is a different story. I thought he had no credits at all because I've only seen him in Peacemaker, I think. So it is what it is. But moving on though, we got word from CinemaCon that we're getting another Final Destination movie, and your favorite director will be writing it, and that's John Watts. Nothing has been told. I mean, it's been 12 years since the last one, which was the Final Destination.
I need this to be a reboot. You know what I mean? I know. This can't really. The concept can't really be a reboot because you know Death chooses different groups of people, whatever, to show themselves. But I like the way the last one ended. Oh, spoilers if you haven't seen.
Like it came
Final
like
Destination. I like that it came full circle to the first one. So I need this one to kind of be away from that. You know what I mean?
But that doesn't, just because it did that, just because it connected like a prequel doesn't mean that everything came full circle. You don't know when the other ones were. There's no timeline. The Final Destination was only a prequel to the first one, and then the rest of them go down tangent. I don't think a reboot can happen with this one. I think they can do things different with the way and I think they should with the way like death is handled and stuff like that. I think, which one was it? Was it the Final Destination 5 with the racetrack and stuff?
Yes. I want to say yes.
I think they had something there. I don't think that one was the best of the bunch, but I think they had something there in terms of like the way the story was going. I think they were actually doing really good. And then in the Final Destination, I feel like they actually upped it and did a little like, if not the same, just a tad better. I would maybe say a little like kind of the same. So I think that they can make a compelling movie. It's just they got to switch up the way that death works. I think that's the only way that they can probably do it for a modernized like style.
Maybe, but then they wasn't death quote unquote innovating like throughout all the movies? Weren't they saying that he's different in this one or whatever?
No.
Really? I can't remember these movies that well. I just know that the last one connects to the first one, and I am scared shitless of the third one.
Because of the roller coaster?
The roller coaster and all the shit that comes afterward. No.
The nail gun one.
No.
That one got me.
I think it's I forget which one it is, but I keep bringing it up to you. The gymnastics one.
Oh, that's the fifth one.
Yeah, see?
That's from the fifth one. That one's
the
crazy.
tanning booth in the third one.
That one's crazy. The sucked up in a pool from the butthole. That one was crazy too.
See, these movies these movies give me trauma. I get like,
ooh, the one that gives me like the literal goosebumps right now is the was it I think it's the Final Destination, the very last one. Two of them give me really bad like vibes. It's the eye one where she's getting the cataracts out.
Oh yeah.
And then the massage parlor one where he's doing the acupuncture.
Ooh yeah.
Oh
Not
God,
very good stuff.
I really like the bridge sequence though. I think the bridge sequence is well done in that one. But yeah, I'm excited for a sixth installment. There's nothing really, being told of what's gonna happen just yet. I know that the writer said that, or the producer said that this one will be different than the other ones. Which, I mean, how different can you get with this without completely swap? You know what I mean?
Different is a loose term when it comes to movies. I think. You know what I mean? Like sequels and stuff. Like they'll be like, "Oh, it's gonna be different." But not different to where y'all hate us.
yeah, not too different because too different is too different for you guys.
Apparently, too different scares y'all. Like, we got to make it different, but it's quote unquote keeping it fresh while also making it feel familiar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like walking in a dark room, but you're holding onto a safety rope.
Yeah.
So you know where you're going, you know where the rope is, but the room is dark as shit.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's just. different is a loose term when it comes to sequels and shit like that.
Well, different it shall be. And hearing of Final Destination 6 movies in the works is great because, 11 years since the last one, because the last one came out in, like, actually even more than 11 years, right? Because I think the last one came out in 2011. We're in 2023. Yeah, it has to be, like, at least 12 years or so already. So, happy that we're getting another one. Obviously, we're not getting any old cast coming back or anything like that. I don't think that ever happened. I think that only happened in what, Final Destination 2, and then.
Well, they got their comeuppance.
Yeah,
but, I mean, there's no way unless they decide to be like, oh, the one that. I mean, I guess that would be the only way to keep the cast around is like they try to do what they did in the I want to say the end of the fourth one. No, end of the first one. Where she's like, oh, we got to keep track of who's next or whatever. You remember which one that is by the end of it? And then Homeboy gets smashed in by a bus anyway?
Yeah, that's the first one. And then it goes to the second one, and she survives, but then, eventually.
That's why. So it's like...
She still gets her comeuppance.
That's why, unless they do that throughout, movies. And they're like, oh, it's not just us now, it's including these 5 extra people, so we got to keep track of them.
Oh, you know who they could bring back? I think in the third part, the guy and the girl survive. And his... at the end, they're at the barbecue, and the brother gets blown up.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like, they were still alive, but nobody knows what happened to them anymore. Mm-hmm. They could bring them back.
Maybe, yeah. They've just been surviving their own little back and forth the whole time.
Yeah, imagine, just like, they're just so used to it, they just put their hand up and, like, knives. Just like, they're like, yeah, it's your turn, by the way. Like, right? Oh, man. That'd be a funny-ass parody. I told you I love parody movies. Yeah. They should do some crazy shit like that. But I'm excited for this one. I'm a huge horror fan. I love gore, and these movies are as gory as it can be. One more, like, little thing about Final Destination. I think Final Destination 5 is the one where, like, at the end, that bus rams into that coffee shop with them. And, like, you just see them all X-ray. Mm-hmm. Like, their ribs cracking and everything. Yeah. Best ending sequence.
Mortal Kombat type shit.
Yeah, best ending sequence for me. I like, till this day, I can rewatch that shit.
The bus was the challenger.
Yeah. You fatality. Moving on though, we're gonna go ahead and talk about a real fatality, a career fatality, who knows, but J.K. Rowling is mocking fans who are planning who are planning to boycott HBO's reboot Harry Potter series.
She doesn't know when to stop digging.
She don't give a fuck, bro. She don't, bro.
Let me know what she's saying first.
All right. I'm just going to let everybody know, LGBT, if you guys are part of that community, I'm not saying that she says hurtful things, but
warning.
It's triggering for sure.
Just trigger warning.
Yeah.
From this point on, if you feel like you might be offended, that's...
I think it's time to leave.
listen with caution.
This might be your guys' exit, and maybe come back in maybe like a few minutes. So, J.K. Rowling says, she tweeted this out, dreadful news, which I feel duty-bound to share. Duty. Activists in my mentions are trying to organize yet another boycott of my work, this time of the Harry Potter TV show. As forewarned is forearmed. I've taken the precaution of laying in a large stock of champagne. So, if you guys don't understand what she's saying, she's talking about the boycott that people are trying to organize it.
Yeah.
She says, forewarned is forearmed, as in, because I know ahead of time, I can prepare myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, I've taken the precaution of laying in a large stock of champagne. As in, regardless of what you guys do, I'm still going to be fucking rich.
Yeah.
I'm still going to have my monies.
Mm-hmm.
So... she backslapped these people without backslapping these people. That's the way I take it. That's kind of like a slap in the face, like oh boo-hoo, you know what I mean? Like, and I mean she has a point. I'm not even. This is all purely business. I don't agree with the things that she say. This is all purely business. Hogwarts Legacy did numbers, and that was supposed to be boycotted.
They do numbers.
Harry Potter till this day is still being watched.
Yep.
Streamed.
Yes.
I think Peacock even picked it up because how popular it streams on HBO.
Yeah.
They even picked it up and put it on there for contract purposes.
Yeah.
Harry Potter is going to do great regardless. Wizarding World is going to do great regard. I mean, assuming that they make good stories and yada yada, etc., etc. And they're going to still continue, whoever's putting the stuff in there, they're still going to continue to put LGBT stuff in there. I mean, they did it in Hogwarts Legacy. Things are going to still come up and still be put in place.
Yeah.
Her saying these things, ruffling up feathers, though she can, because it's still going to make money, there's going to be a time where it's going to slap her right in the face, and I'm going to be standing right there waiting for that apology, because then right then and there she's going to be like, I'm sorry about this Twitter thing that I said. Because don't get me wrong, when you're on your high horse and you feel like I stand by what I say, and you know, I don't care what kind of backlash comes to me, you could stand on your high horse. Eventually all that shit that's coming at you is going to make that horse fucking react and get all crazy, and you're going to fucking get dropped off that bitch.
Yeah. Eventually, I mean, I don't know if this says any more about WB or not, but at some point, she's going to end up ruffling the wrong feathers, and WB is going to have to be like, whoa, dog, like, you took it too far.
Yeah.
like we're not cool with this shit. You need to back up, or we're going to have to cut you. And then, you know, boom, Harry Potter series canceled after season 2. So, you know what I mean? Like, she can push the envelope as far as she wants. It's up to WB and stuff to when they'll see how far the envelope gets pushed.
I think WB has tried to do their part. I think they try to, like, basically be like, hey, you want to sign over Harry Potter to us? And she was like, no, what the fuck? Why would I do that? You know what I mean? Like, because then she loses creative control.
Exactly.
And she doesn't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't want to lose control. And then
then she loses fat stacks.
And so the problem is with Warner Brothers is that if she continues to say all these things, she's going to be riding on that high, you know, pile of money saying, fuck you guys. And then eventually they're going to be like, well, I'm not going to give WB my money. I'm not going to give that. And then either they're going to have to completely part ways and Harry Potter is going to die along with J.K. Rowling, or she's going to, you know, eventually all this pressure is going to get so hot that she's going to sign. She's going to sign, take her millions, and disappear.
I think eventually it'll be
billions probably.
It'll be a real who's going to outlast who type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, she could totally sign and WB take over and stuff. But then, yeah, no, she'd just be paid her billions and she moves on to the next thing. But I think if, say WB drops her, and then, you know, well, Peacock, you know, the Peacock signs, Netflix signs, someone will sign. You know what I mean? If it's not WB. WB has a very functioning relationship with the Harry Potter series, you know? But say for some reason they decide to drop her, she'll go elsewhere. You know what I mean? It's not till she has nowhere to go is when she'll be like, all right, I'm sorry. But no, what do you call it? Video games will go ham. Merchandise still goes hard. Like, people, like, I still want a wand. So, like, you know, like, all that shit, like, adds to her small little pocketbook. So, it doesn't really matter in the, like, again, all business and stuff. But to her, it doesn't really matter where it happens because she's still getting paid for all her Wizarding World shit.
It's true. She's that's the thing, and like I said, we all know that. J.K. Rowling got to be a little bit more humble than this.
She's ballsy for sure though. She's just like, all right, I'm gonna bring out my lawn chair. This is where I'm sitting, drinking my champagne, and the masses are just like, react, bitch. Like,
yeah,
we're right at your front door. Give us something. And she's like, I am. It's me on my ass with my fat stacks. So, so again, you can boycott. I'm not sure how well that's gonna work, but you can boycott.
We'll have to wait and see with this one because this is not a good start for the beginning of a reboot.
Oh, for sure.
I'll just say that right now. And I'm sure
whoever the fuck
Zaslav's like, bitch, shut up.
he's like, there's a vein popping out of the forehead.
I don't have fucking Ezra to deal with right now. Like, Jesus. And Amber Heard, fuck, like, dude. Like, oh man. Zaslav is just like, he just inherited a world of problems, and this is not.
It really makes you think about like who at that point is gonna want to work with her. You know what I mean, on that show. You know,
people are gonna want to work.
Well, no, but like actors and stuff. You want fresh, young actors on the scene. Like, here's
the thing is that there's a lot of people with her beliefs. The thing is that people can't talk about that. That's the issue. Like, there's a lot, like Chris Pratt. He talked about his beliefs, and they fucking almost killed him
People
for it.
hate him because he's religious. I don't know.
Well, you got to think what comes with religion. Man and married couple, right? Man and woman married couple, children, family, whatever. Not a lot of people agree with that. And then, especially when you throw religion into the mix, a lot of people say, "Well, why are you shoving your book down my throat? Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, why are you over here pushing this agenda in this movie or whatever?" Like, it turns into this big ordeal, and that's something like with this. See, if Hogwarts Legacy, and to me, it was kind of off-putting, and I've talked about this in an old episode where, like, I was playing it in front of my son, and my son even saw it, and he had to ask me questions. I had to shut that shit down. I had to be like, look, that's not, it's something different. We'll talk about it when you're older type shit. But, like, if they would have completely not put a trans person in there, that would have been them, like, the fans would have been like, you guys are propelling this narrative and actively keeping trans people out, right?
Yeah.
So that they put it in there, it's kind of like, oh, they actually did what, she said that they weren't going to do. So they can do that again within the show. They can just be like, well, we're just going to put a gay couple, you know what I mean? Like side characters or something, whatever. And, to help wider net, wider audience, obviously you want to appease everybody. So the more people you appease, the more money you're going to make.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to do that regardless. The people are going to want to work with her regardless, but her making it harder for that to happen, it's going to be a difficult road for this reboot.
That's what I'm saying. So hopefully, I know it'll affect the show. I don't know how greatly it'll affect the show, but I know it'll affect the show. I just, look, if you decide to make the show and then cancel after the Goblet of Fire. I just want that.
You don't even know the characters of your favorite movie. I asked you the other day. Who's the dude with the eyeball? You remember?
No, I don't.
You forgot?
I did.
You forgot already?
Yeah.
I didn't even forget.
Ooh, who is he?
Professor Moody.
Oh, well, there you go. See, I knew that. I was testing you to know if you knew it.
We gotta like point at each other.
But what do you call it?
Yeah,
that's all I care about. Like if you decide to cancel after that season, and then
okay,
we know Deathly Hallows.
Well, it sounds like you're supporting J.K. Rowling, if you ask me.
No, I support the show. I don't really care for her politics.
I just support Sigourney Weaver. So Sigourney Weaver basically came out and said that she will not come back to play Ripley again.
No, yeah, that's fair.
She should look. You've seen the movies. You've seen them.
They abused that woman to hell, dude. She was okay. Spoiler for any aliens movies.
I mean, if you haven't seen them, it's kind of like you guys should have watched them. Okay, but go ahead.
So she's alive for the first two, right?
Mm-hmm.
She dies in the third one.
Mm-hmm.
They clone her in the fourth one,
mm-hmm.
and then after that, I don't remember. But
they make a clone alien xenomorph about her.
Oh, that looks so gross, bro.
Yeah.
Don't like. I know that sounds gross to picture. A woman and xenomorph. Like,
it is gross to watch.
It's as gross watching that shit. Listen, it is gross. Like, you can watch the movie if you want. I'm telling you, prepare your eyeballs because that shit is disgusting.
So she basically says that she's very happy with where, that she was open to the idea of coming back as Ripley in the Alien franchise, but she's very happy with what she's doing and she thinks she's done. So she says there are all kinds of young actors taking this kind of role, and there was an Alien film that I really wanted to do with Neil Blomkamp, and we didn't get to do that. But you know that ship has sailed. I'm very happy doing what I'm doing. I put in my time and space. She also says, I think Ridley has a lot to do with the longevity of Ripley and Aliens.
For sure.
They made Ripley a woman without making her this helpless creature, because I think I was very lucky. Mm-hmm. These were men who were creating this woman character, but they liked and respected strong women.
Exactly.
So, yes, 100% agree. My thing is, though, I want to know what that script for Neil Blomkamp's Alien movie was. Sigourney Weaver not coming back. Honestly, she shouldn't have came back after Aliens 3. I thought it was a perfect ending. They could have completely left it. I get the cash grab that happened with Resurrection.
Abomination.
No, I don't know why they did. I don't know why. whoever was in the booth that day was like, look, we're going to bring her back. And they're like, well, how are you going to bring her back? He's like, well, first we're going to do this, and then we're going to bring her back. And then at the very end, she's going to come back, but also merge with something else. And I'm telling you, it's going to be fantastic. And sure enough, the movie came out. So I think she should have been left with Alien 3. I think Sigourney Weaver as a character. I think with the Alien movies that came out should have been not prequels, but sequels to the original, outing that happened with Alien Resurrection. And basically paid homage to Sigourney Weaver and, made more female characters that, were out there being more, strong, obviously, but also, paying that, like, you know what I mean? Like being like, oh, she was one of the space rangers that took on an alien 3 times, couldn't shake it. And then, eventually went down as a bad bitch, you know what I mean? And, let her inspire, but, it kind of went a different direction. Though I did like the direction it went. I think it would have been nice to,
I think I read somewhere that the only reason Ripley works is because she was supposed to be a guy.
Yeah.
Before they casted her.
Yeah.
So
she was supposed to be a man.
Yeah. So, she goes in as like the greatest to do it, type shit. Same with like Sarah Connor.
Mm-hmm.
We need more like that. We need more of that these days. But people are, dare I say it, afraid of women, and that shit just doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really get that in this atmosphere lately.
Okay, we're gonna talk about this. You sound like a fucking simp. No, just kidding. I'm just joking. I always say that because I see it in the videos when people talk about that shit. But no, not that. But here's the thing: is that when female characters are written today, I feel like they're written like females, if that makes sense, right? So guys don't want to go into a movie and have to deal with female problems and then have to believe that this female can whoop ass, Scarlett Johansson trying to go up against Thanos. That's never gonna fucking happen.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just fucking crazy. But like when you actually take the woman aspect out of it, right, and you just make them into this badass character, and man, woman, don't even matter, just turn them into this badass character, say that they're gonna do these badass things, whatever. Yeah, every once in a while their gender has to play a role, right? A scene where the dude is pissing or whatever at the end of a fight, he's cool, he walks off. The girl, whatever, she has to deal with certain things or whatever, and overcome whatever. I don't know how, like, things are written out. I'm not a screenwriter. I'm just saying, like, if you just make this powerful character like they did with Ripley, right? What they did with Sarah Connor, they Sarah Connor was more of a strong woman, but also like a mother bear type character. You know what I mean? Like, she was gonna do whatever she needed to do to survive and also to save her children. You know what I mean? So that where, like, there's not a lot of room for like female stuff that pulls you out of that experience. And if Ripley was doing a lot of female stuff and then went up against this alien and she knew how to, she's never driven the fucking arm thing before in her life, but yet knows how to do it all of a sudden, you know what I mean, at the very end of the movie, that's where things get kind of weird and take people out. Whereas they showed her in the beginning, she knew how to work the things, that she worked hard, she did all this stuff, she was just another worker, you know what I mean, she did the shit that she had to do. I think that's where, like, translation today, and I think today a lot of the stuff that they put out there, they want to show off those feminine elements, which is good, but also be like, okay, but they can also take on this person, but then that man couldn't take on that person, but then that woman could. Like, it just seems weird.
I don't know. But yeah, no, it makes sense that she wouldn't want to come back. You know what I mean? I'm done talking about it.
I'm curious on your
POV.
POV.
No, because I already said my piece. Like, I don't think that's the case.
Oh, so you don't agree with it?
Well,
well, you could have said that.
Well, I don't like agree about it that at all. You know what I mean? I just think that because I think I've said it to you before. What's that movie? That movie that just came out with Chris Evans and what's her name?
It just Ghosted.
Yeah. Ghosted. Right?
With Anna de Armas.
Yeah, and she was supposed to be, like Tom Cruise was in Night and Day, and she's like this badass and whatnot. And I told you, I don't know if I can I don't know if I can believe that. You know what I mean? I haven't seen the movie. I don't know, but I hear that movie's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, okay. And then Black Widow, like you mentioned her, and I'm like, okay, she can do some stuff, like that hallway scene where she's taking them down in Iron Man 2.
That makes sense.
And then Happy can't. That makes sense. You know what I mean? But you couldn't shove that into the climate for some reason in this day and age. I don't know what it is. I would want to see another alien movie where it is someone badass like that. Like I hope they keep to that trope where it's just a badass woman surviving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you had hella men in those crews like several times being badass type shit. You know they're not badass type shit.
A perfect way. I just thought about this too. A perfect way that they wrote a woman character and like made her badass was in Night and Day. You talked about it, right? She was this female, right? She was a female, helpless, couldn't do much. She was scared most of the movie, right? She would shoot and do little things here and there, you know, but like it wouldn't be accurate, nor would it be, you know, it would be kind of like lucky kind of thing, you know? And towards the end, that's when she becomes this badass, right? Where like after she gets things under control, figures it out, has to be put through some stuff or whatever, then she becomes this badass,
She
right?
saves him and all this.
And that's when, you know, people can accept it and people like it because they showed that she built up to that point. You know what I mean? But when you get somebody like Rey Skywalker, Palpatine, whatever, who goes from one movie that doesn't know anything, goes to the next one, and all of a sudden she's this fucking badass person, it's like you skip development just for the sake of, you know, upping this woman in the screen. You can make a compelling movie with a strong, firm female character. It's just if you can make us believe that she can be that badass female character. You know what I mean? Or am I tripping?
Okay,
or am I tripping?
Okay. I'm not gonna use Rey because I think my opinion on that is like,
okay, that's something. Okay,
yeah, I think she does do all that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's a whole other topic.
Okay.
Well, you can use Captain Marvel. People say that right out the gate, she's powerful, she's cocky, whatever, but she gets her ass handed to most of the time in that movie.
Yeah.
And then, you know, by the end of the movie, she harnesses her power. She knows how to fly, this and that. And then she beats the dude at his own game or whatever. And then by the end of the movie, she's in space. The fleet is like there, and she's just like turn back, and then, you know, they turn back. People have a problem with that one, and I'm like, okay, well, I think I get what you're saying with that. Because she's just powerful right out the gate. You know what I mean?
Powerful and no emotion. I could understand the no emotion part too, but like I said, in the movie they read that in like she's a no nonsense soldier.
Yeah. So, like, I think I get what you're saying, but in the sense of Captain Marvel, I just feel like I don't know what the standard is gonna be going forward with these sort of things where it's just like what is the fine line between people that are like, ooh, MCU, and then she's actually pretty badass. You know what I mean?
I told you that. The fine line is whether you can make that compelling character.
You don't know that because there's still people out there that will be like, ooh, woke and this and that. You know what I mean?
Obviously, you're going to still have the people that have gripes or whatever, but I'm going to say mostly from my POV, a lot of, like, especially a lot of, maybe it's just, I'll use Marvel as an example because they've been adding a lot more female characters. I think that their need to want to add all these female characters is a problem because they're sacrificing the story. Where, you know, to make them badass and all that stuff, they're sacrificing the story to just basically put them up. Whereas you get movies back in the day like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Badass, bro. A badass off the gate. You know, you could believe everything that she did. Like it was a great movie. That is a well written female character. I'm trying to think of a recent one. Alita, Battle Angel. That's a badass female character because it wasn't like, that's the thing that I think that's where like it doesn't, you know, they're feminine, but at the same time they're badass, and it's finding that perfect mixture, kind of like finding that perfect mixture for like a male action movie star. You know what I mean? Not everybody can do it. There's only like maybe like 2 right now, 3 maybe. Tom Cruise. Is Ryan Reynolds considered one? No, huh?
No.
Is it really just Tom Cruise?
It's probably just Tom Cruise right now. Yeah.
Yeah. So see, it's already a hard fucking barrel to scrape Chris Hemsworth is trying to be one too with Extraction, but with the news that happened with his health, who knows how long that's gonna last for.
That's not really working.
So I mean, it's already a hard thing to find. It's even harder for females because, in my opinion, you gotta justify that they're able to do certain things. You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, y'all can come at me for that. I mean, it sounds bad as it is, but like, it's true. It's like, in my opinion, I think that what do you call it? Like it like I said, Scarlett Johansson against Thanos probably wouldn't work out. Captain America having the serum and everything like that in him, he probably would have had a better chance than Scarlett Johansson. You know what I mean? Because she's just a special agent. Now, what happens in Black Widow when she falls down that fucking steep ass drop and somehow survives is a different story. That some people say that she supposedly has a serum or whatever, but that's never told.
They don't show that.
That's never told.
Yeah.
So that's a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes it a problem. So now you think like, oh, they're just making her indestructible just to,
just so she lives and the plot can move.
Plot armor, right? And that makes it a problem for the movies. And I think that's with Captain Marvel too, making her powerful out the gate. Plot armor. She can't die, so nothing can happen. So what kind of stakes do we really have here?
I think I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, I think that's like the issue.
Because now the line is, now I'm starting to like think of all the female characters of recently, and I'm like, okay, maybe yeah.
Yeah, like story wise, there's some good ones, but it's just when they just, for the sake of putting a woman there, is kind of like, that's where I'm kind of like, you guys can do a little bit better than that.
Yeah, but I did, like back to what we're talking about.
With Sigourney Weaver.
Because I know that it was heavy. So like, not sorry to really y'all, but we deep dive like that sometimes and we side tangent. But
yeah,
her not coming back is a smart move. She's had her fill. If she's fine doing whatever she's doing, then amazing.
Yeah, I think she's good.
I just hope this next Alien one keeps that trope of the strong woman action hero type.
Yeah, because to be honest, I don't think the last two really did that. I know they did that with Prometheus. I think they did a good job with writing her character. I know some people had some gripes with it. I'm thinking more of the alien aspect. Yeah. But I think they did a good job with Prometheus. And in the Covenant, I can't really remember, but it is what it is. We're getting a new one from Fede Alvarez, so I'm kind of excited for that one.
Well, I mean, they did it with Prey.
Oh yeah, Prey was really good.
So hopefully,
even though there were still some people that was like, well, how was she able to escape them or whatever? But they explained it in the movie. They explained it very well.
You just watch the movie, but
so watch out for those people on the internet that just try to clickbait you. Yeah. Oh, feminists and whatever. No, actually look at the movie and figure out whether they're actually doing some shit like that or it's the story that's lacking.
Exactly. So hopefully these movies keep that trope, and like I'd want to see more of that. I do enjoy that. Hell, I fucking love Terminator, and the Alien movies. I need warming up to them because they are kind of dated, but I mean I enjoy them for what they are and stuff, and then hopefully it just keeps that tone.
And I think we might be getting some more, and no other person to thank besides James Cameron and Avatar 2: Way of Water, because Alita Battle Angel seems like talks are actually happening. We talked about badass female characters, and this is honestly, this movie's a slept-on fucking movie. Like this movie's great. So apparently talks have been happening, and a lot of people are. The producer is really, John Lando is saying that Avatar: Way of Water may have paved that way. So as we know, James Cameron basically made this Alita script back in 2003. Yeah, he's been trying to get it off the ground forever. Mm-hmm. Robert Rodriguez wound up saying, "I'll do it." I'll do it. So wound up putting it out in 2018. Finally got the final product. Fucking great. It was amazing. It made over $400 million worldwide for a new movie. That's not bad, especially a new one that they're taking a chance on. Mm-hmm. So he was talking to Screen Rant, the producer, John Landau, saying that because of A Way of Water that Alita might be in development. He says, we're working on it. I think we've learned from Avatar is how much more facial nuance and subtly that we can't get into characters that we want to be emotional and emo that are humanoid. Alita would not have been possible but for what we did on Avatar Way of Water would not be what it is. But what we did with Alita, for Alita, and now let's put that back and give it back to Alita. We're talking to Robert Rodriguez and talking to Rosa Salazar, and all is good. So the work that they used for Alita Battle Angel basically was put into Avatar 2 Way of Water.
Which makes sense.
To make it more realistic, facial, because, you know, of the way that they were able to do that humanoid element in the movie. Crazy CGI, crazy. I'm still mind blown that she's just a complete CGI character. So Avatar 2 Way of Water really paved this way. And, you know, Alita's been in limbo since 2019. I think that's when the movie released. Yeah. Nobody knew whether we were getting a sequel or not. I was hoping we were going to get one sooner. I assumed pandemic hit and everything just froze still.
Stopped it, yeah.
But now hearing that Avatar 2 was, you know, obviously is this massive success, how they want to come back and do another Alita with the CGI and VFX of Avatar 2 Way of Water. Sign me up. Sign me up. Sign me. Yeah. Where do I sign up?
That already sounds like a W, and especially after the way the first one ended, you're just like, what the fuck, you know what I mean? And like, it's content, no spoilers, because if you guys gotta check this out before the sequel, then go ahead. But it ends on a cliffhanger. That's the best I'll tell you.
Yeah,
and like
a good cliffhanger.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, like, what the fuck? Where's part 2? You know, and like to hear that this shit might be coming soon is amazing, because goddamn, that shit looked immaculate.
I'm guilty. I slept on it. I didn't watch it in theaters. Slept on it hard, bro. I bought it on physical. Actually, I think Julie bought it for me on physical. And then that's when I watched it. And I was like, what the fuck? Why didn't I watch this movie? And honestly, I thought it was based on an anime. So that's why I was like,
Yeah, that's probably what... Yeah, I was about to say that.
And it is based on an anime, huh?
It's based on manga, not an anime.
Oh, okay. I thought it was based on an anime. So I was like, I don't know about wanting to watch it, but after seeing I think I seen a clip, and I think it was that clip when they were in the bar and homeboy was all like CGI'd out, and it was just his face or whatever, and just everything was robot. I was like, I gotta watch this fucking movie. And
that fight scene is fucking sick.
Yeah, it's great. So Alita 2, if you guys are excited about that, it's coming up. But with that's gonna be our last topic of the episode.
Yeah.
If there's anything that we missed, that we did not talk about, that you guys felt like, hey, and honestly, we did a lot of talking today. We did a lot of talking today. So if there's anything that you feel like you wanted us to dive deeper in, anything that we didn't talk about that we should have talked about, a movie that you guys want us to review, any YouTube videos that you guys want us to react, anything, Josh, go ahead and let them know where they can let us know, and we can try to appease.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at FilmBros Podcast. We post when new episodes are up, and you can engage with us there. If you want to listen to us on the go, Spotify and Apple Podcasts at FilmBros Podcast. If you want to support us in a big way, Zippy Stream at FilmBros Podcast. All it takes is a name and an email. You get updates of when new episodes drop. And if you want to go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube, go ahead and do that at FilmBros Podcast.
Yeah. And with that being said, we will talk to you guys on the next one.
Talk to you guys later.